the 0.6 from, I'm guessing I drew this from starting from here all the way here, retraced all the way to 0.6. Look at that. Like, literally, people don't believe in Fibonacci, and it's like, wow, look at the market. Definitely does. The market follows it for, like, you know, this just showed, like, I didn't just draw this beforehand or like after the fact. It bottomed here. This was a beforehand scenario, and it bounced out perfectly because everybody was watching this range. Reliable last case scenario dip. If the stock is so bullish, it can just bounce out the 0.5, and then you're so good. But if something happens, people are just scared, some manipulation maybe even happening, you'll get it. In a less bullish scenario, it'll go down to 0.6. But if it bounces off strongly after 0.6, then, like, consider that just an even or as like as stronger bullish indicator. But then you also have a lot of resistance going. I wouldn't say resistance, but it is kind of resistance happening around the 0.6 here that I also redrew. And I'm guessing this 0.6 is from this retracement from here to the last highs that was set. And that's the thing about 0.6. They can either be strong support or strong resistance, you know. So I would definitely keep an eye on this one, but I would say it is very bullish still. And on the weekly side, it's still following, bouncing off your 21 EMA on the weekly chart. I would also say you're definitely going to be getting a second attempt at this 140 price action. Probably also going to be getting another. Everything is looking out to be cup in hand, like cup patterns. I would say something like this. And then sell off here for that second attempt. People want to get out that are scared. And it'll, depending on how bullish, it'll be doing a little handle. And then it'll go for that third time attempt at this price range. And you'll be getting new highs. Fresh new highs. Right on. Who is next? Bloom Energy. We'll take a look at Bloom Energy. Same case scenario. You got a fresh bounce off the 0.6 that we drew from whichever range I chose. And you got to break off this trend line. It bounced off the trend line from this down channel that you had here. And now it's ranging between the 0.5 and the 0.6 fib retracements until it decides to start taking off again and try a new attempt at the 350 high. Like I said, everything is just, you know, big handles, big cups at big handles. Bullish case scenario, you know. There's also a possibility that this could all, because all of these have the possibility to be a dead cat bounce, you know, something like this. That could also be a case scenario, but you would have to have some like insane bearish news to come out, you know, for that to happen, to be hitting all these semiconductor related names. And then CoreWeave is such an ugly chart, I swear, but it's just been ranging if you really think about it. Ever since it hit that first high, that big high they had, 190, it just has been ranging between 140 and 60, you know. But if you think about it, you've had a lot of touches in this range. You've had this big mess right here, this second one, which means by the looks of it, oops. You know, you got this big bounce off again from this support level over here. You had some resistance on the 0.6 that flipped into strength, finally pushed through that. And then now it's facing resistance again at this 0.5 and 0.6 range right here. But if you're looking at this way and you put this trend line into perspective, it busted through the trend line, and now it's looking like it wants to bounce off this trend line and go for a third attempt at the 140 mark. And I think this third attempt is where you're gonna finally see some breakthrough, bounce off, it'll turn into support, and you'll get that second attempt. Where is it? Right here. That second attempt at the 190 price level, because the first time that it hit this price level all the way back in June of 25, so it's been a year, basically a year and some change since the last time it hit this 190 high. So there's a lot of trapped people in here that are just waiting to get out. Once they do, you're definitely going to be seeing some selling. It'll probably go down here, and then it'll use one of these levels as support, and it'll bounce back off, and you'll be getting fresh new highs for CoreWeave. Especially if they have some kind of good catalyst, something cool coming out. Okay, Micron Technology. Micron, also same case scenario. You know, Micron is one of those stocks that you were like, okay, this is pretty bullish. They didn't even wait for price action to reach the 0.6. Buyers were just hungry to step in. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good sign, you know, because it's not always a thing to where you want a stock to reach this level to start buying, because depending on how bullish the stock is, people will step in to buy before it even reaches, because they're just waiting for those, you know, they're that hungry and they're that bullish about the stock. They think it's going up, especially here. Like you can see it happen again right here. First time you got a dip to where it hit these big range Fibonacci retracements, buyers stepped in and bought it right before it could even reach it. But then the sellers were just so strong that it just sent it down. But buyers were stronger. They even stepped in again right before it could reach that 0.6 retracement. So that just shows that this is pretty bullish still. There's a lot of people are wanting the stock. And classic, as you can see here, after the bounce up, you got some resistance at the 0.6, some resistance that flipped to support, and now you're getting some resistance to 0.5 that's going to probably also flip to support, because there's your first touch. I would say you always gotta, the greater the distance between the touches, the more bullish it is. As like okay, that's a touch, you know. So that's your first touch. That's your second touch right here. So I would say you're gonna get something like this, where this flips to support, and then you're gonna bounce through this 980 level right here, and you're gonna be trying at this level right here, and then same as all the other ones, you're gonna be getting big old cup. You're trying out this level. What is this? The 1250. The 1250 level. You're gonna be trying that for the second time. You're gonna get a big old cup again, and then you're gonna burst through, create new highs. And new highs are, you're you're going to be looking at these as your targets: 1,288, 1,446, 1,648. Right on. We'll do one last one. We'll look at SpaceX, because it kind of has something to do with semiconductors, kind of. SpaceX, I would say, is finished bottoming. You know, looks like it's flagging right here, and you're gonna be getting a second attempt at this price level, maybe. Or, you know, it could just start ranging. You could just get some action where it just starts doing this finally before hitting that. Anyways, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.